Falcons. It's first matchup between the Broncos and their former coach, Dan Reeves. For a report, we go to Bob Trumpy at the Georgia Dome. Trump.
Greg, thank you very much. You know, numbers came up this week in Denver. The reason they came up is that Mike Shanahan reminded his football team that in 1996, the Kansas City Chiefs started the season 4-0, didn't make the playoffs. Washington Redskins went 7-1 in the first 8, did not make the playoffs. And Denver has a history of quick starts. Anytime they can play in Mile High Stadium, it helps. But as you can see, in 77 and then in 86, great starts led to a trip to the Super Bowl. He hopes for the same in 1997. Now, for the Atlanta Falcons, some good news. They get Chris Chandler back. He missed last week with a bruised sternum. He also had a concussion the week before. He is a big part of Atlanta's problems. And for Denver, key information, Steve Atwater, even though he's wearing a shoulder brace, will start and play. And that is a big factor for the Denver Broncos. Actually, I don't think this game is going to be close, boys.
Right, Trump, thanks very much. We'll have much more on Dan Reeves facing his former team when we hear Sam's interview with Reeves a little bit later. But Sam, is Dan Reeves up against the wall today?
Well, he is. He's taking over a run and shoot team. He's going to be he is the disciplined kind of a coach that's taking over from two coaches that weren't as disciplined in what they do. Two good coaches. But it's going to take a little longer than just today. All
right, when everybody talks about the Broncos, you talk about John Elway, you better pay a little attention to their ground game.
I was amazed at Terrell Davis last week. Not only ran past defensive backs, ran over people in the hole, and also a couple little Barry Sanders-like moves. I think he's the most complete back in the game today.
All right, Chris, for more, let's go over to Ahmad.
I saw that game where Jim rushed for 35 yards. He had some Barry Sanders-like moves, too. Anyway, the Miami Dolphins have a bye this week. They've lost two.
Move where he's going to move, but if it's a DB, he's looking to punish the defensive back. He knows that.
DBs, I think, 9 times out of 10, I'll try to run them over. Just because next time it gives something to think about once I get back there. And if I ran them over one time, then the next time I come back, give him a little finesse move, and maybe I'll be out the gate.
He don't want to take unnecessary punishment, but he realized come fourth quarter, if he's piling on him like he's supposed to for the first 3 quarters, the fourth quarter is when the big one's going to take place.
The strategy has worked. This season, the fourth quarter has belonged to Davis. All 3 of his touchdowns have come in the last 15 minutes of the game. His average per carry jumps from 4.8 yards in the first 3 quarters to almost 7.5 yards in the fourth.
They don't realize how big Terrell is. I mean, you know, you just look at him, you think he's around 200, but actually he's about 210. And come fourth quarter, those guys in the secondary, they don't want to tackle Terrell.
Because I know if they're tired, you know, then they're not going to tackle us hard. They're going to probably just hit you instead of rapping. They're not going to do the fundamental things that it takes to bring me down. And I can tell by just looking over there, I can see them breathing hard. They're always hunched over on the knees. So that's my time where I think I need to strike.
So where do you want to...
One of the keys to Terrell Davis is his vision in close quarters. And you consider 5 offensive linemen, sometimes he's running against an 8-man front. 13 people, he's able to see through that maze and do it at full speed without slowing down.
Another thing that Terrell Davis has is great patience. He's as good a runner from 7 yards in the eye as he is from 5 out of split backs. In the West Coast offense, he will get about 8 to 10 runs if he carries the ball 20 times from 5 yards, which means things happen a lot quicker in front of him, but he still shows that great patience to find the hole and to make the first guy miss.
If he gets 100 yards today, first 5 games, 100 yards in all of them, only O.J. Simpson ever accomplished that in the NFL. So maybe a record performance by TD today. Well, from the ground to the air, from Denver to Jacksonville, the result is the same. No losses. While the
2 car links behind and always...
The NFL on NBC, and today, the Denver Broncos, the Atlanta Falcons at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Today's story involves 2 men. First, John Elway. His record this year is 4-0. The other man is Dan Reeves, his former coach, now with Atlanta. His record is 0-4. Together in Denver, as you know, for a decade with an acrimonious parting a few years ago. And this, Bob Trumpy, is the first time that they have met on a football field since then. I'm Charlie Jones. Interesting matchup today.
Yeah, not a grudge match, though. Dan Reeves doesn't have the bullets to even look at Denver and say, I'm going to take out a grudge on this football team. Won't work.
Now, in the pregame show, you said you didn't say it wouldn't work. You said it wouldn't even be close. Yeah. Now, how could Atlanta make it close?
Well, I think Dan Reeves admits that he doesn't have the horses to deal with these cyber horses from Denver. And the only way that Atlanta can really compete is if Denver puts the ball on the ground. John Elway's got to throw interceptions. Denver's got to fumble. They got to play incredibly stupid to be threatened today.
Well, they're not a stupid football team, but they are no longer solely a John Elway football team. This is Terrell Davis, and he has been outstanding.
Yeah, frankly, Charlie, for the last 3 years, Terrell Davis single-handedly has changed the personality of the Denver Broncos. Used to be a finesse team. Now they are an absolute thunderous football team with the manner in which he runs. This is part of his performance last week, 215 yards. He is the man.
Now, they now have the mile-high salute from the running backs. They say, we are the ultimate soldiers. Now, in broadcasting, we're the ultimate soldiers, so let's salute our fans, our viewers today, and we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away. Denver has won the toss. Dan Reeves, the Atlanta Falcons, will be kicking off. His record is 0-4, as you see, the worst start in his head coaching career. When we talked with Dan Reeves, he said, okay, one thing, let's see if Denver can play at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, he's looking for anything here. I frankly don't blame him for trying to find something. And for Mike Shanahan, his theme this week was focus. Keep your mind on the game. Don't look to next week. Actually, don't look to the next series.
Morton Anderson will kick off for the Atlanta Falcons. And the deep back on the return is Vaughn Hebron. And we are underway in the Georgia Dome. Hebron a couple of yards deep. He's going to bring it out. An excellent return man across the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the lineups for the Denver Broncos. John Elway, the quarterback, will lead them on the field. And here's his offensive line.
This is the most amazing guy, Gary Zimmerman. He's already back. Last year, he's an all-pro left tackle, comes back after a self-imposed retirement, starts at right tackle. He's never missed a football game in which he's been active.
Backs and receivers.
This is the man right here, has taken all the pressure off John Elway, and you no longer have to stop John Elway first. You now have to stop Terrell Davis first when you play the Denver Broncos.
To the near side. The pass is incomplete as he goes to Rod Smith. We'll check out the defense for the Atlanta Falcons. Their front four, Bob.
Actually, it played pretty well. They've gotten a lot of sacks, to the surprise of a great many people in the NFL and, frankly, a great many people in Atlanta.
Linebackers in secondary?
Secondary is fair here. They've got good linebackers. Jesse Tuggle for the 8th season last year led this Atlanta Falcons football team in tackles.
Second and 10, 3 wide receivers, 1 remaining back. That is Terrell Davis. He comes in motion now with 4 wide receivers. Over the middle to the tight end, Shannon Sharp. So Shannon Sharp now has his 12th reception of the year. He is brought down by Henri Crockett.
Remember yesterday we were talking to John Elway? He said, you know, Shannon only had 1 catch last week. He's constantly lobbying for the football. Said, you know, Shannon, you got to be patient. You know, we're going to give the ball to Davis a lot. I have a feeling that was to just keep Shannon Sharp quiet in the huddle for the rest of the game.
Good point. He says we'll spread it around and everybody will have their turn, but not necessarily in the same game. Terrell Davis. Nothing there. He'll get a couple of yards to the 35, but the defense of the Falcons closed immediately on him. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
What the Atlanta Falcons are going to have to do here to stop Terrell Davis is commit 8 guys to the line of scrimmage and sometimes 9. Now the weakness of that, and that's on run blitzes, the weakness of that is that at some point play action and John Elway is going to kill you. So, I mean, this is a very difficult offense to defense just because of the weapons that they have.
Terrell Davis now goes out of the offensive set. 5 wide receivers. Elway in a shotgun with no back to protect it. Elway goes deep. Shannon Sharp picks it up. Double coverage. Heads to the end zone. He is there. His first touchdown of the year. 65 yards.
How about that throw?
How about that formation and the salute? The mile-high salute goes to Georgia.
Now what happened here is when Denver went to 5 wide receivers, the Falcons did not adjust defensively. They stayed with their standard defense. They just had 4 defensive backs in there. You saw 58 Tuggle trying to run down Shannon Sharp. That's one you got to give to Gary Kubiak, Mike Shanahan by design. They just caught Atlanta in the wrong defense. They have any chance whatsoever of defending that type of play.
Jason Elam with the point after, and the Broncos very quickly, under 2 minutes of the ball game, Broncos are out in front by a score of 7-0. Back with the kickoff in a moment.
As you well know, I love beer. Let's go back and talk about it.
We are back with 13 minutes and 18 seconds still remaining in the first quarter. John Elway to Shannon Sharp, 65 yards, touchdown. Longest touchdown reception in the career of Shannon Sharp. And now Jason Elam will kick it away with Byron Hanspard and Jerron Bolden, the deep backs. Taken 2 yards deep and down by Hanspard out to the 20-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown.
All right, first of all, look at the offense. This is the spread. Here's the 5 receivers. What Atlanta does is they do not substitute. This is a linebacker, linebacker, linebacker. So you've got Shannon Sharp on the middle linebacker right here. It's a play that you design against a certain defense. The Falcons didn't change to the extra defensive backs. Broncos took advantage of it.
But remember that Terrell Davis came out. There's the mile-high salute. Shannon Sharp has a chance to thank everybody. It's really catching on, the whole ball club. But Terrell Davis came out at the last moment. They came in. They set the running backs up, so they had in reality 5 receivers in the wide position. And as Bob said, the defense simply wasn't ready for them. Jamal Anderson gets the first call. Neil Smith is there, and flags come flying. Dick Hantak is our referee. Dale Williams, the head linesman, jogging to him. It will go against the Falcons. And a Bronco player is down. That's Neil Smith. So we have
illegal formation, offense, no eligible receiver on the end of the line. Penalty is declined.
It will be second down. We have an injury timeout for a moment. Clock is stopped with 13:03. That is the time remaining in the first quarter. In case you are just joining us, the Broncos quickly on top of the Falcons by a score of 7.
And if you want secrets to success in the NFL, that's got to be part of the equation. Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator, looked like Neil Smith walked off under his own power. Might be all right. Maybe a neck stinger, not really sure. We'll get a report from the sideline.
Harold Hasselback replaces it. Chris Chandler, the quarterback. And Jamal Anderson is the tailback. Bob Christensen, the fullback. Looking up the middle, rolls away from it. Pass is incomplete. All kinds of pressure put on by Alan Aldridge, the middle linebacker, who's blitzing right up the middle.
Man, Aldridge was untouched. Here you're going to see him. Romanowski comes from the outside. Aldridge is absolutely untouched. You need to at least slow those guys down. You know, you don't have to block them, but just slow them down a little bit.
Falcons going with the rookie center, Calvin Collins, his second consecutive start taken in the 5th round. He blocks to the left. There was nobody there to pick him up.
Well,
is that his read?
No, that's the design of the zone blitz. You overload a certain area, and you get somebody free on the quarterback.
3rd down, 11. Pressure this time from the backside. Trying a little underhand shuffle designed to make it look like it wasn't a fumble, but in reality, I think that it was. Darian Gordon was there, putting the pressure on from the outside.
Well, not a very good series.
No. and Atlanta told us that the first quarter was so important to them.
Holding, offense number 68, penalty is declined, 4th down.
And it's holding on the center, the rookie center we were just talking about, Calvin Collins. Now, Darian Gordon is the return man, and he's the #1 return man in the National Football League. Dan Straczynski has great hang time. He probably has more fair catches off of his punch than anybody in the league every year. Now, Gordon can give the Broncos excellent field position. Fair catch at the 45-yard line. 38 yards on the kick with no return. 12:23. Time remaining first quarter. Broncos up 7-0. the report on Jason Elam. He has a strained hip flexor. Don't know yet whether or not he's going to return. All of a sudden, the kickers are going to John Carney.
Yeah.
An injury a couple of weeks ago in San Diego.
An extra point or a kickoff. No contact here by Jason Elam.
Elway from the shotgun. Underneath the coverage, he goes to Ed McCaffrey. Quickly picking up the first down. 45-yard line. 40-yard line of the Falcons.
Again, an empty backfield. And you've got the defense spread all over the field here for the Falcons. And the one thing that bothered Dan Reeves and his team last week was how many receivers for San Francisco caught the ball running. We've had 2 receptions by Denver, 1 for a touchdown, and that one by McCaffrey. Again, the receiver catches the ball moving.
Gain of 16 yards, first down. They spotted at the 39-yard line. Terrell Davis, right side. He pops for about 5 yards on the play. Travis Hall makes a tackle for Atlanta.
Now we also got a report that Howard Griffith, the starting fullback, is out too. You can see what Terrell Davis has done in the first 4 games of this '97 season. It's just laid waste to defenses.
Detron Smith is in at fullback on that last set.
He told us yesterday, TD did, he said, you know, I didn't play much at Georgia. I feel fresh. They can give it to me 25 times a game. I don't mind a bit. Here's that empty backfield, 5-receiver formation again, Charlie.
35-yard line. Flags come flying. Elway was dumped just about the time that the whistle sounded.
Ball start. Offense. Prior to the snap, number 84. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So this is interesting. What they're doing is they're not changing personnel. Here's Sharp right here, but they have a fullback and a tight end in there, but they're just emptying the backfield, spreading the defense all over the field, and hoping that Atlanta stays in its base defense, which it has, and then taking advantage of it with the pass. One thing I got to tell you about Mike Shanahan, John Elway, and Gary Kubiak, the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. They can design stuff the defenses just flat can't stop.
Second down, 11. Elway to throw, and pressure dumps it off to Davis, incomplete. He was his outlet as the Falcons defense was putting all kinds of pressure on it.
Cornelius Bennett out there in the flat to cover Terrell Davis.
Davis has only 6 receptions on the year. He's a pretty good receiver. He's been running so well, they simply haven't thrown to him that much.
Sure, I don't think you can use him up as a receiver, but you can't ignore him as a receiver because it just makes him that much more of a threat. There's Gary Kubiak, the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, former backup to John Elway.
Elway in the shotgun now with 3 receivers. Falcons have pressure on him. He steps up. He'll run for it. He's got the first down. He's to the 20-yard line and just gingerly heads for the sideline.
Always been a huge part of his arsenal. I mean, the one thing about John Elway now at 37 is he's a little more patient in the pocket. He's not so quick to run, but the first time he's pressured, look, there's Davis, 30, personal escort, protecting the franchise there, tries to get a block. And that's an amazing thing about John Elway. They've had to break him of running the ball too quickly. And here's Rich Brooks, the defensive coordinator. He fully understands the nightmare that the Broncos offense presents for any defense.
Elway's career rushing was passed by Terrell Davis last week. He said, I can't believe he did that. It took me 15 years to get there. And here is Davis. He wants to get that rushing leadership back.
Yeah, he said it. We asked him what his goals were, and he said, look, I want to be synonymous with the Denver Broncos. Frankly, the way that John Elway is now. In the future, I want to be the guy for the Denver Broncos. Loves Floyd Little.
Did you notice the face mask? The face mask on Terrell Davis, there it is. Elway looked at the face mask in practice. He said, what kind of face mask is that? He said, I've been wearing it all the time. John said, I've only seen you from the back. Second down. Detron Smith getting the call, replacing Howard Griffith, who has a knee strain. Questionable if he can return. Cornelius Bennett with the tackle for Atlanta.
Speaking of Cornelius Bennett, of course, he came down from Buffalo last year. Last year was the first time in his football career he suffered through a losing season. Can you imagine that? All those years at Alabama and Buffalo, first time he did not have a winning record.
Third down. Shannon Sharp, the motion man, the pitch to Davis. He's in traffic. He'll end up with just about a yard. That's going to be it to the 10-yard line. So the defense of the Falcons, led by Dan Owens and Ronnie Bradford, former Denver Bronco, rise up at the 10-yard line.
And Shanahan, I think, is showing very little respect here for Atlanta's defense. He's going for it on 4th down. And frankly, with the power that this offense has, why not?
And also a statement for the Denver defense.
Sure.
If we turn it over on downs, we can still stop it.
He knows how important points are in the NFL. The more you can get, the better chance you stand at the end of the season.
4th down and 3 at the 10. Elway looks up and calls for a timeout.
Yeah, there was 1 tick left on the play clock, so he's going to go to the sideline. I'm not sure they'll change their mind, though.
We'll be back in just a moment. Sprained hip flexor. John Elway, we understand, will kick the short one. The long one would be kicked by Tom Roy. 5 wide on the set. Nobody back with John Elway. He's in the shotgun. They pressure Elway. A fade into the corner, and it is caught by Willie Green. And a flag is down. He beat the rookie from Nebraska, Michael Booker.
Interference. Defense, number 20. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Willie Green, his first touchdown of the year.
Well, Charlie, what Denver is trying to do here is isolate their receivers on the defenders from Atlanta as best they possibly can. And so far, every time they've done it, it's worked.
They'll go for 2. If Elway's going to kick it, he needs a holder to come out.
Well, they don't want to burn another timeout here.
12 seconds on the play clock. 3 wide receivers, 4 seconds and counting. For 2, straight shot up the middle for 2.
Big deal.
Terrell Davis. Mile-high salute from the running back.
Charlie, if we go back to the touchdown again, you're going to see the 5 wide receivers or 5 spread formation, and then here's the touchdown. It's just a fade pattern. A beautiful throw by John Elway, and again, it's just to isolate their receivers, which frankly are pretty big receivers. And that's a beautifully run pattern, a nice throw, and you can certainly see the interference. Now, John Elway's just throwing this to a spot, not to the player, to a spot. One of those choice receptions. Pick the end you want to catch, And the 2-point conversion, why not just give it to the cyber horse? He needs a little bigger horse on the side of his helmet, I'm officially lobbying for Terrell Davis and a little bigger horse and working on the salute. We'll have practice.
They need work.
Yeah,
they need work. All the military watching it, you realize they need work.
Yeah, but
these are young men.
Sure, and
rookies.
The more they score
in boot camp,
the more they score, the better that salute's going to look.
As John Elway said, we'd ask you about the uniforms, and he said, we're 4-0. They're getting better looking every week.
Yeah, Tampa the same way. The rest of the league's going to change uniforms next year.
That wouldn't surprise me. Just a little slow sprint tie kick as Tom Ruin, the putter, back up the long kicker, kicks off.
And it bounces off Hanspard, out of bounds, inside the 20.
Now let's bring you up to date on Atlanta's lineups. We'll start, of course, with their offensive. Atlanta will start at their 19-yard line. Denver is up 15-0. Chandler to throw. Completes the pass. First really good offensive play for the Falcons. This is to Burt Emanuel, the wide receiver. Ray Crockett makes the tackle. It's good for 20 yards and the first down. Defensively, the front four for Denver.
Michael Dean Perry, of those four, probably playing the best. In excellent shape, and still a guy could blow a play up.
Neil Smith back in the ballgame.
Yes, I noticed he's, and Atwater playing with the shoulder brace. He's a big part of the defense for the Broncos.
First down, Atlanta, their own 40-yard line. Jamal Anderson. No, that's Byron Hanspard, the rookie from Texas Tech. Keith Traylor with the tackle.
This young man gained 2,000 yards as a senior in college. Was a third-round draft choice, and he's the electrifying type of runner that Dan Reeves is going to employ in this offense. Kind of be the third down back or long yardage back, at least until Jamal Anderson's ankle completely heals.
Second down and 5. Anderson back in as the tailback. Anderson was really looking for this ball game. Said, you want to go against the best, see if you can crush them. Right now, he gets crushed at the line of scrimmage by Keith Traylor.
Amazing thing about Keith Traylor, originally drafted as a linebacker by Denver, ate himself to nose tackle. Went to a couple of teams, and now he's playing terrific as a nose tackle for the Denver Broncos. So every move the Broncos have made here in the last couple, 3 years has worked, and worked well.
We're 9 minutes into the ball game. Atlanta has 23 yards of total offense. Denver 138.
Come on, Charlie, give me some good news about Atlanta here, will you?
The good news is we have a timeout. So we'll step aside. Broncos are up 15-0. Back in a moment. Back on the field now. John Elway is the short kicker. Does he have tape on his shoes?
No, he doesn't.
You can't kick if you know with tape on your shoes.
Yeah, you know the other thing, both of his shoes are the same. I mean, normally kickers have different shoes.
He'll have to change.
He's too sane to be a kicker.
I don't know. He's been a quarterback for a long time. Pulled off sides. Ma'atanabasa. Couple of flags, 3 flags.
Yeah, Greg Robinson did mention to us yesterday.
Encroachment, defense, number 98, 5-yard penalty, result of the penalty, first down.
He did say the only thing that I have a complaint about with our defense at this point is penalties. And that was a dumb one. John Tierlink, the pass rush specialist for the Denver Broncos, on the sideline, encouraging the young man, look, pal, you're right in front of it. It's brown. It's got Tagliabue on it. Don't move until it does.
Second first down of the ball game for Atlanta. Denver has 5. Remember, it's 3rd and 4. So that's the first down. 49-yard line. Looking for the screen. Screen is set. The delay will good for about 5 yards on the play. Byron Hanspard, the rookie from Texas Tech, pulled it in. John Mobley, the very active linebacker from Kutztown, #1 draft choice in '96, makes the tackle.
138 to 29. We're lucky it's only 15-0, Charlie. I mean, let's be honest about this.
Atlanta mounting their first drive of the ball game.
Okay, that's
see if they can get something going for them.
Yes, we're looking for little bits and pieces of positive signs.
About 3 yards on the left side for Byron Hanspard. In the vernacular of television, we would like to notify our viewers that we did bring what we call the big bucket. We have a lot of interesting things for you, just in case. And I have the feeling the bucket may be empty when we get to the 4th quarter.
Well, you've been in this business for a long time, Charlie. What's the NFL record for beginning to empty that bucket in an NFL game?
We are underway. We are poised. We really haven't started yet. Atlanta with an opportunity to get right back in the middle of this. Going to the far side and out of bounds. Just picking away. That's the first down.
But Charlie, what you're seeing here is a relaxed Denver football team. The defense looks at what the offense has been able to do and say the defense can't stop it. We don't have to play great. Now, there's nothing that'll upset a head coach more you hope to get up 15-0, but then you don't want your players to just relax and allow the opponent to get back in the game. And at this point, we're seeing a relaxed effort by the Denver defense.
Bert Emanuel with that last reception. Steve Atwater was there for Denver. It's a first down.
Let's see if they come with a blitz on this play.
36-yard line.
No blitz.
Good protection, going deep. Excellent coverage. Excellent coverage by Darian Gordon on Terrence Mathis. And he used that sideline perfectly. Kept him pinned against the sideline.
You got a pair of them up there, and they cover it well. You're right. And Darian Gordon just tries to just use the sideline. That's right. Give the quarterback no place to throw the ball for a completion. And that's at first and 10, kind of a desperation shot.
Second down and 10, back of the 36-yard line. Gordon already this year with a 32-yard interception return for a touchdown. Chandler hands off to Hanspire. I'm not sure they can get there on the ground. A couple of yards to the 34. Third down and 8. John Mobley with the tackle. Hanspire, as I mentioned, the rookie number 3 draft choice. Here's what he did at Texas Tech.
Look at that, 2,084 yards. I don't care who you play. If the other team has cleats and a helmet, 2,084 yards in 11 games is a bunch.
It is. It really is. The Red Raider used to the Falcons colors. They're the same at Texas Tech. Third down and 8. Chandler going deep to this side. A little pushing and shoving, almost intercepted, and there's no flag.
Boy, that's the experience of Crockett. 39. Excellent job.
Ray Crockett, the defender. Bert Emanuel, the intended receiver.
This is well thrown by Chandler, but again, you get that receiver on the sideline. Now watch the arm of Crockett. Just gets in there, head back, looking at the quarterback. The officials will allow it. And you can tell that Emanuel can't get both hands up to try to make the catch. Knocks the ball away.
52-yard field goal attempt by Morton Anderson. He has 32 successful field goals of more than 50 yards. Is that partially blocked? It is no good.
I don't think anybody hit it.
It veered off to the right. So Morton Anderson misses from 52 yards away. And that means that Denver will take over at the spot of the hole. Broncos are out in front by a score of 15-0.
Now we see Morton Anderson, who is Denver probably would
over at their own 42-yard line. Davis gets the call, slips out of the tackle, battles his way up to the 45. Tough 3 yards, second down 7.
And the Falcons defense is committing 8 guys to the line of scrimmage to stop Terrell Davis.
Travis Hall along with Cornelius Bennett on the last tackle.
And their choice at this point in the game, that is Coach Brooks's choice at this point in the game, is to not let Terrell Davis just beat our defense up. If you're going to beat us, you're going to throw it down the field.
That can be a dangerous concept when you're playing John Elway. He throws this one down the field to Ed McCaffrey. The big tight end, a big wide receiver at 6'5", 215 from Stanford. Ronnie Bradford from Colorado makes the tackle.
Now, you know, this is one of the biggest changes, I think, on this Denver team. Bradford kind of backs off, but remember when the Broncos were great, when Reeves was there, they had the 3 amigos, and they were all squirts. You know, now you got McCaffrey, you got Smith, you got Shannon Sharp. They're all very, very big, angular, not particularly fast, but very visible receivers.
Elway has completed 5 of 7 for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. This one batted away.
It looked like Lester running back with a defensive mentality. I love to hit people. I prefer to hit them.
In high school, he was a nose guard.
Yeah.
And he liked it.
Diego, yeah. What's wrong with the kid?
Flag. First down conversion is there to Willie Green. We'll go back and check out the flag. Ray Buchanan had the coverage.
That's going to be on Denver. They had illegal motion here. Ed McCaffrey was in the slot. He was trying to get a message to the outside guy and was moving when the ball was snapped.
Illegal motion, offense, number 80, 5-yard penalty, repeat the down, 3rd down.
Well, they called it on Rod Smith, but here's what happens. Here's Rod Smith, and he's giving the message to McCaffrey. I got him wrong. See him move there? He moves back, ball snap, flag thrown, easy call. Excuse me, Ed McCaffrey, it's on Rod Smith. Shame on him.
3rd down and 6. 42-yard line. 3 wide receivers, shotgun. Elway goes deep down the sideline to Smith. There's pushing and shoving and no flag.
Oh, I'm surprised there's no flag.
I am too. And this is one of the problems that the players and coaches complain about, is that in other games we've had this year, there have been flags flying. And there were. With that amount of contact today, they're letting them fly.
Yeah, now this is a double zone, and Bush, the safety, rotates out, and there's the contact, and he's not looking back at the football.
And also contact by the offensive player.
Yeah, now I don't know how the officials call that, but when the defensive back is not looking back at the football, generally he gets the flag on him.
That's almost an automatic. Tom Rowan is going to punt. Todd Kitchen, the return man's at the 10-yard line. Atlanta stopping Denver here. Excellent kick by Tom Rowan. It'll go out at the 6-yard line. 36 yards on the punt. No return as we go to New York for a quarter here. As you see, with 12 seconds time remaining, Denver up 15-0. Atlanta with the ball on their own 6-yard line, 1st down. Tanavasi is in the ball game in the defensive line for the Broncos. They'll continue to rotate. Tanavasi and Hasselback and maybe Mike Loaded with the 4 starters. Jamal Anderson leaning forward, trying to pick up at least 1 yard. Keith Traylor with the tackle. That will bring us to the end of the first period of play. After 1, the Denver Broncos in front of the Atlanta Falcons. The score is 15-0. We'll be back with the 2nd quarter in just a moment. Falcons still trying to get that elusive first victory. The Denver Broncos trying to keep that undefeated string going. Dan Reeves, the head coach of Atlanta, returning to his home area, native of Americus, Georgia. That, by the way, is where Charles Lindbergh soloed at Souther Field back in 1923. He said, it's really good to be home. It's really tough to lose, but it's good to be home. Byron Hanspard, the ball carrier, close to the 10-yard line. The 3rd down and 6. Williams and Mobley with the tackle.
First quarter numbers, passing yardage has produced 2 touchdowns. Count them, 2 touchdowns. And they don't need the run game today. That's the beauty of the Denver football team now. It used to be that you counted on the pass and you got no run. But after a 215-yard rushing performance last week, they try to shut down the run. Elway gets them.
3rd down 7. Falcons have converted only 1 3rd down opportunity out of 3. Blitz is coming. All kinds of pressure. It's incomplete. Chandler barely saved the loss and the possibility of a safety.
You're going to see Ray Buchanan right up there at the line of scrimmage, and again, he's untouched. That zone blitz, you try to overload a spot. Excuse me, it's Tyrone Braxton. Tyrone Braxton. I got the wrong 30, right to 34, wrong team. Tyrone Braxton with the hit on Chandler.
So Dan Straczynski will kick it away. Darian Gordon, the return man, and again, the Broncos will have excellent field position. Denver with the return on. He really hangs this up. No fair catch was called. That's Jerron Bolden. Something for the Falcons to celebrate. 52 yards on the punt. They haven't had a lot to celebrate about. Punt at the Denver 42-yard line, 1st down. Showing 4 wide receivers. Terrell Davis gets the call. From Lincoln High School in San Diego. Had the same coach as Marcus Allen. Big player, and he said he was more than just a coach. Said he learned a lot both on and off the field. A very impressive man.
Yeah, and then went to Long Beach State and played for was recruited by George Allen. In fact, when George Allen called the first time, Terrell admitted to us, I didn't know who he was. I had to go ask Prince. He said, but before I went up there, I did a little research, found out exactly who he was and what he'd accomplished.
Second down. Davis just shy of the first down. It'll be third down and 1. Ronnie Bradford with the tackle.
And this is one of the things that you just love about a kid like Terrell Davis. The first opportunity to turn upfield, he takes it, squares his shoulders, and now he just tells those defensive backs, how much of me do you want? Do you want all of me? Hit me between the 3 and the O. You want part of me? Take a hit. He runs like a fullback.
A little heavier this year. Wanted to be heavier.
Yeah, he wanted to be about like 217, but his weight limit by Shanahan is 213. Plays at about 210.
Double tight end on the set. Davis hit at the line of scrimmage. Second effort. You saw it, and it's close to the first down. I think he got it. William White with the tackle.
Charlie, excuse me, but again, that great attribute, he never gives up on a play. It looked to me like Travis Hall, 98, had a hold of him, bounces off of him, and picks up or is close enough to a first down for a measurement.
Change will come out. He said one of the nice things, his mom has moved to Colorado. The cooking has picked up. He's eating better. Chinese food on Thursday night. Said she'll be ready when I come home on Sunday night. That's tonight. I said, what are you going to have? She said, she'll have a surprise for him.
A surprise.
First down.
Also interesting to note, too, that Terrell Davis told us that he hadn't had a migraine since last football season. He's changed medication, began to watch his diet a little more, and takes a medication that is, there are no narcotics involved in this medication. It's an animal enzyme that's used for inflammation, and it seems to have worked. He's fine.
First down, Elway to throw. As Precious steps away, goes for the end zone, has his man knocked away. Excellent defensive play. Ed McCaffrey, the intended receiver, Ronnie Bradford with Denver from 93 to 95, and played at the University of Colorado, had him all the way. Good defensive coverage.
Deep post by McCaffrey, and Bradford positions himself perfectly. And even though McCaffrey's tall, Bradford makes sure that he's just inside the line of flight of that ball, knocks it away. And again, the great value of a receiver was 6'5". You know, with the three amigos, the little kids they had, Elway wouldn't have thrown that thing down there. But with a 6'5" receiver, you can take a chance with a shot like that.
Second down 10. 3 wide receivers from the shotgun. Elway pulled it back and then fired over the middle. Patrick Jeffers with his first reception of the year. Jesse Tuggle makes the tackle. McCaffrey comes back in. Terrell Davis goes out for this offensive set.
All right, here's that empty formation again that Denver's had so much success with. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DBs, 5 DBs now for Atlanta.
5 wide receivers in the formation. Elway over the middle for the first down. He goes to Rod Smith, holds on to it as Devin Bush nails him, but he's got the first down at the 36-yard line.
Now this is a young man that John Elway has a great deal of faith in now. He's in the slot. He's just going to run the simple slant. Just a quick pattern. The ball is 2/3 of the way there. When Smith makes the break, and he's inside Devin Bush for an easy pickup, and they're spraying something on his back. Stick him.
That's that hurt no more.
Yeah, I can't feel it. Give me some of that. I can't feel it.
Davis with a couple of yards, maybe 3. John Burrow with the tackle. Is the opportunity for you to check out the ticker and see what's going on around the NFL in the early games today. Atlanta, they're trying to stop Davis. It's a typical take away the run and let John Elway beat you. I mean, that always bothers me when I hear that, because John Elway has a tendency to beat you.
Yeah, it's never worked. It's seldom worked to turn the ball over to John Elway and say, beat us if you can. You're right, but I mean, you have to stop Terrell Davis, or your defense just loses all confidence in anything they can do.
Three-step drop, throws off target, first down. Ed McCaffrey finding that open seam between the corner and the safety, hits him on the break, first down. Between Bradford and White.
And again, just a simple timing pattern. A linebacker is taken out of there by a drag pattern run by the tight end out to the sideline. And the alley is filled with football right into the breadbasket and an easy reception. And McCaffrey's gone on and off the field several times today. I don't know if there's something wrong with him, but Steve Antonopoulos, the trainer for the Broncos, getting some heavy duty so far.
First down, 18-yard line. Elway throws into the corner of the end zone, and it is no good. Shannon Sharp with Ruffin Hamilton, the linebacker, the coverage down the far sideline. Now Elway is throwing with a bruised finger that he hurt in practice, bruised thumb that he hit on the helmet. Hadn't seemed to bother him at all.
No, and that was the tight end dragging up. Again, trying to take advantage of linebacker covering tight end. And John's mad at himself. He's thrown it to the back corner of the end zone. I think Sharp could have got to it.
Three wide receivers, second down. Broncos up 15-0, right side. Davis inside the 15-yard line to the 13. Third down and about 5. In the 1990s, Terrell Davis.
Yeah, these are 200-yard rushing performances. At 215 of last week, pretty impressive, led by Emmitt Smith, 237, and of course Peyton's record of 275. So that's some tall cotton for a 6th-round draft choice, you know, Terrell Davis.
That's 41 yards. There's still just under 9 minutes to go in the half. As in here, he's got the touchdown. If he gets to the corner, he's got the corner. He's got the touchdown. Wait for the salute. There it is. You're right. It is getting better. 13 yards for the score.
Well, again, you know, he thunders between the tackles all day long. And again now, because the kicker Elam is hurt, the Denver Broncos are going to go for 2. They're not running up the score, but their field goal kicker, their backup field goal kicker is John Elway. They don't want him to have a strained hip flexor.
That's right. I'm not sure the crowd here, there's a lot of mumbling going on, mumble, mumble, mumble in the background. Understand this. They think they're, because it's a bit of a grudge match. This is Davis leaning in, and does he have it? I have one official on the far side.
I think Atlanta called a timeout.
Has requested a timeout prior to the snap. Their first timeout.
Let's go back to the touchdown of Terrell Davis, his 4th of the year.
Now, you're going to see Davis come up here, and he stays inside as long as he can, then bounces outside. 77, Tony Jones. T-Bone gets a heck of a block. And, you know, again, Terrell Davis does a great job of setting up that block by Tony Jones, and it's official with the salute. And another 6 points for the Denver Broncos. 12 carries, 55 yards. What did Michael Dean Perry say to us? He walked in, we were talking to Terrell Davis. He said, I love this kid. He's going to extend my career. I like those long drives, 12, 15 plays, 8, 10 minutes. All of a sudden, we're in the middle of the 3rd quarter. I go out there for 3 snaps, give it to Terrell some more.
That's right. I'm on the sideline getting rejuvenated.
Yes.
He's adding to my career.
Yeah, I'll play till I'm 50. This kid keeps carrying the ball the way he's carrying it.
This again for the 2 points. The reason is that Jason Elam, the kicker, is hurt. Three wide receivers. Davis again leaning into. He is in, converts for the 2 points.
Same play.
So the Denver Broncos unstoppable in Atlanta this afternoon, up 23-0. The kicker now Tom Rowan, who is kicking off. Second time in the ballgame that he has kicked off. Jason Elam with a strained hip flexor out of the ballgame. Not that bad. Taken on the hop by Hanspire. 35 to the 40-yard line. Atlanta will start with good field position. Tonight is the premiere of must-see on 40-yard line, first down. Denver is up 23 to nothing. Fake rolling right into pressure. Pass is complete to Manuel. Dropped by Gordon.
That's beautifully played. I mean, everything is working right for the Denver Broncos. Oh my goodness, look at that. Total
Time of
yards.
possession 2-1. Total yards 4-1 plus almost 5-1. Not quite.
And look, Dan Reeves has one of the most difficult jobs I think there is in the NFL. When you're on the backside of the run and shoot, trying to put in a regular offense, it is a Rubik's Cube. One, you got to make sure your offensive lineman can now block, and two, the receivers catch on. And it's just not set in yet with the Atlanta Falcons.
Second down and 10. Left side, nothing there for Hansberg. Alfred Williams with the tackle.
I mean, that's the problem that Dan Reeves faces. And I think in the pregame show, you heard him say to Sam White, he went to Denver, they had a history of winning. They knew how. He went to the Giants, they had a history of winning. They knew how. Atlanta does not have that history. They don't know how. So this is an absolute rebuilding block from the basement foundation. He's got to start with a slab and then build up.
Also a mix and match offensive line with a lot of injuries. They've been in and out. And hard to get a cohesive unit. Atlanta will take a timeout, stops the clock, will step aside. Denver up 23 to nothing. Minutes and 8 seconds, time remaining first half. Denver up 23 to nothing. Third down and 11. Thus far in the ballgame, the Falcons have converted only one third down opportunity. Chris Chandler, the quarterback. Coming back after that bruised sternum a couple of weeks ago. Pressure right up the middle. He's sacked at the 25-yard line.
Every important, crucial passing situation, Denver's choice is to come with the zone blitz. And Romanowski is right here. And again, Charlie, this is the second sack and the third time that a player's been in untouched. One time he got the ball away, but the other two times totally untouched sacker on Chris Chandler.
The punter, Dan Straczynski, has been one of the highlights for the Atlanta Falcons. They haven't had that many this afternoon. He is really bunting well. Flag is flying. Here's a great kick. Gordon fields it with the fair catch. We'll go back to that flag at the 26-yard line. It will be against Atlanta. Here's the call.
Illegal substitution on the offense. Number 47 did not get inside of the numbers.
Explain that, Bob.
Well, there were some teams who were running players onto the field late. So the NFL established the rule that for you to be a legal substitute, you got to get inside the big numbers, and then you are in fact legal.
Now, what are the big numbers?
The big numbers are the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 you see on the football field. And if you there was a
there they are. They're the big numbers, 20, 30.
This is what we're talking about. Those are the big numbers.
You have to be inside there, right?
Yeah, you have to come from the sideline into there. You can't go from the sideline and line up there. That's
or as they were doing, sneaking in here.
Yes.
That was what
coaches we will not name used to do that on a pretty regular basis.
That's right. So we'll do the kick again. Another great kick. Fair catch. 27-yard line. 49 yards on the kick. No return. Darian Gordon with the fair catch. We'll be back in just a moment. Just over 6 minutes, time remaining in the first half. John Elway has completed 8 of 14 for 137 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interception. Denver starts at their own 28-yard line. Elway looks right, comes back over the middle, incomplete. Going to Davis at the 30-yard line. Jesse Tuggle was there.
Awful lot of conversation this week about John Elway and the connection with Dan Reeves. In the 10 years with Reeves, he was +1 touchdown to interception. In the last 5, +54. That's a telling stat in one way only. The talent around John Elway in the last 5 years has improved dramatically. You can't blame that on Dan Reeves, because there was a time where if John Elway didn't win the game in the last second, they had no chance to win the game.
John said it wouldn't be the comeback yet if we had that situation. Davis with the call. The one number, though, that becomes as important as any other from a player standpoint, the number of times that you have won. And he is the most all-time winning starting quarterback with 130 and looking at 131.
Yeah, and you know, I've known John Elway for a long time. Did his first game. You've known him. He is not an individual numbers guy. He really isn't. This stuff about, if it weren't for Dan Reeves, I'd be up there with Dan Marino. That is so out of character for John Elway. I'm not sure I believe that he said that. He's that kind of guy. Son of a coach. You know better than to say that.
Denver converting 4 of 7 third down opportunities. Now Shannon Sharp makes it 5. Sharp with a touchdown in the ballgame. His first. William White with the tackle.
And again, this is a great job of scouting. You're going to see right here, Shannon Sharp is on Cornelius Bennett. Linebacker on tight end. Bennett up in years. Can't cover it. I mean, Bennett, when he was at Buffalo, he was a pass rusher. He didn't drop much in coverage. Again, that's just great game planning against this Atlanta defense.
Shannon from Glenville, Georgia, played at Savannah State. A little light in the pocket, but $960 worth of tickets for his friends. Quick drop pass is complete. A couple of yards short of the first down. McCaffrey pulls it in. Bradford pulls him down. However, Michael Dean Perry really got hit.
45 tickets for the family.
$1,485. $1,485.
Yeah.
Davis said he got off easy. You know, he played at Georgia, first time back to play here. He said, but 9 tickets, but they're going to get me in San Diego big time.
Yeah, Michael Dean says, I got a big enough family. I can't refuse anybody. When they say they want a ticket, I pretty much have to write the check.
And he said, I'm glad we only come here once every few years. Second down. Davis slides to the outside, slashes through, picks up the first down. He always seems to know where the markers are, just how much he needs to pick up the first down.
I think 2 years ago, when the Denver Broncos found Terrell Davis, you remember Mike Shanahan told us that the first preseason game we played was in Japan. And we didn't know what we had. It was a 6th-round draft choice. We had him on all special teams. He said he went to Japan and was knocking people out. I mean, out on special teams. What is this kid? And from there, he has become, along with Curtis Martin, I think the 2 best running backs in the American Football Conference.
41-yard line, first down. Elway pump fake, goes deep, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ronnie Bradford, the former Bronco, going to McCaffrey. Flag dropped back. 2 flags now, 3 flags between the 40 and 45-yard line.
That, frankly, was a poor choice by John Elway.
4 flags.
Personal foul, number 75, unnecessary roughness after the ball had been blown dead. We will penalize from the dead ball spot. Will be first down, Atlanta.
Shane Ronette, the former Bronco, with the first foul, and Ronnie Bradford's second interception this season. Here is the interception. As you are right, Bob, it was a poor choice by John Elway. Timeout, back in a moment. Ronnie Bradford with his second interception of the year. First turnover of the ball game. Atlanta now at their own 8-yard line, trailing 23-0. Chris Chandler, the quarterback. Little swing to the right side. Jamal Anderson. They got him out where he had some room, and he moved to the 24-yard line. Has the first down en route.
This is a young man that I really like. Was 1,000 yards and an awful lot of yards.
Chandler in the pocket over the middle. Pass is complete to Burton the first down. What is going on each play?
7-5 a play for Denver, 2-7 for Atlanta. That's certainly a telling graphic along with total yards. And Charlie, that was the first time that Chris Chandler set up deep, 5-step drop and actually had time to look down the field. First time he's gotten decent protection today.
Second down, 1. Anderson for the yard. I'm not sure he's going to get it. Let's see where he gets the spot. While they're making the measurement, we'll have the 2-minute warning. We'll step aside, back in a moment. 55 time remaining in the first half. Broncos shutting out Atlanta, as you see, by a score of 23-0. Program notes, stay with us at halftime. Greg Gumbel with Sam White, Chris Collinsworth, Jim Kelly will be in the studio. Scores and highlights of everything that is going on today. Ryder Cup captains will have their speeches on tape. Earlier today, of course, Europe defeated the United States in the Ryder Cup. Up very early this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And watching NBC's coverage.
Yep.
Glad I was in the Eastern time zone. I'd have to get up at 5 o'clock on the West Coast.
I can't wait to hear what Sevi has to say as the captain.
Bueno, senor.
Muy bueno.
Muy bueno. They did play well. They did.
Yes, they did.
The Europeans played well. They deserved to win.
But on the other side of the coin, where was Tiger Woods?
He struggled.
Where was Davis Love?
He really struggled.
And there's a lot of golf fans, including Mike Shanahan and John Elway, who were very interested in the Ryder Cup results.
When we met with him yesterday, we all kind of carried on a conversation while watching the Ryder Cup. First down, Atlanta. Measurement took place while we were away. Pressure right up the middle, spinning away, just getting rid of it. They'll let him do that because he was outside of the tight end, or close enough.
Yeah, again, it's a zone blitz. You're going to see Williams drop off. A linebacker blitzes. At least this time, one of the guys is picked up, but the center, Collins, 68, doesn't get a real hit on Keith Traylor. And again, he's right in Chris Chandler's face.
Second down.
This is just his second start at center, the young man.
Chandler 2 of 3 on this drive, 4 of 8 on the first 4 drives. Chandler, standard rush, little rainbow looping pass, and it is dropped by O.J. Santiago. A talented young man, but he didn't get this one, and he should have, shouldn't he, Bob?
Yeah, actually, he didn't look very good trying to make the reception. Here's Santiago right here, just the slot corner, the Y corner, however you want to call it, but he struggles a little bit getting his hands up here, although there did appear to be some contact with Aldridge. He may have lost his step.
What did he tell you about Candlestick Park 3Com when they were there playing the 49ers?
Well, he's a rookie all the way, you know. He said, I'm enjoying every minute of this, and last week we were out in Candlestick, I ran the base paths. You know, they still had the skinned infield. I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. Also was a designated captain, shook the hands of Steve Young.
Said he was thrilled. Here is Terrence Mathis down the sideline. Inside the 20-yard line. A lot of time remaining, 1:29 and counting. Falcons 49 yards, their first big play of the ballgame.
Well, when you're up 23-0, you can get kind of lulled to sleep, and that's exactly what happened. He runs his pattern on, frankly, Denver's best coverage corner, Crockett, and it's well thrown by Chandler. He finally has time, and the completion is made.
First down, Denver 16-yard line. Atlanta has 1 timeout remaining. Chandler steps, throws to the corner, 5-yard line, leaning to the 1, and then the ball going out of bounds. Let's see where they'll mark it down. They'll mark it down about the 1, and it's a tight end, O.J. Santiago. They'll stop the clock using their last timeout. Clock is still moving. I thought he signaled for the timeout. Yeah. Coming to the sideline, but the clock is still moving. They've got to put 5 or 6 seconds back on the clock. They'll be just inches away from the goal line.
Well, let's try to cover both these pass receptions. Here's Terrence Mathis, and they just kind of spread. Crockett gets caught inside. Chandler makes a nice throw. And you can see a nice big 49-yard pickup. And then to the tight end, O.J. Santiago crossing. He has Romanowski running with him, but he's deep, and Crockett, there's Mathis again on the same reception. This is from the end zone. You can see the way they just split. Crockett got caught on the inside.
O.J. Santiago on his reception took them almost to the goal line. His dad is from Trinidad. His mother from West Germany. They met in Canada. He is having a good time, and he said, "I'm so excited I don't get tired." Ed West, the old veteran, 14 years at tight end, said, "Son, you will soon."
Yeah, he'll wear off. But he is an engaging young man. He really is. But 6'7", 265 pounds, and he runs about a 4.6 40.
Chandler on this drive, 4 of 6 for 89 yards.
Here's what's taking so long. They're calling more than one play. They want to make sure that they don't have to re-huddle.
Out of timeouts, they put 4 seconds back on the clock. Anderson hit. He'll end up losing yardage. Back a yard, maybe 2 away. Clock will move. No timeouts. It'll be second down.
But they should already have a second play called, so just go right to the line of scrimmage. They won't have to huddle. Now, wait a minute. There is. The clock is stopped here. Why?
There's some milling around. I'm not sure why. They stopped it. Now they will start it again. Winding the clock.
That's a break for Atlanta. Oh, no. The center didn't snap the ball.
Flags come flying everywhere.
Everybody moved but the center.
That's the rookie, Calvin Collins. 5th round draft choice, Texas A&M, only a second start.
Encroachment. Defense, number 94. Penalized half the distance to the goal line. Still second down.
That's the reason maybe he didn't snap. He was hit.
Yeah, maybe so. Trailer is right here on the center's nose. Yeah,
right.
He did. It's a good thing that Trailer was in there because you can see the center did not snap the ball.
Back to the 1-yard line, second down. Fake. End zone. Did he catch it? Scooping it up in West. His first touchdown.
Did you see Chandler? Oh, my aching heart. He almost underthrew it.
Had to scoop it off of the artificial surface.
Chandler saying, thanks. I appreciate you going down after that one. You know, West is not he's not a pup. He's been around for a long time. That was a very tough catch.
Morton Anderson will attempt the point after. It's good. Denver 23, Atlanta 7. An outstanding drive at the end of the first half.
There's West. Good play action fake. And now watch out. Kind of goes down into the ground. West. Oh, no. Make it easier than that. He does a great job making the catch for the score.
Worst spot in the world is along the sideline. You can't see from there, can you?
No, you can't.
Word kind of has to filter back.
Yeah. When we talked to Reeves yesterday in his office, we were kind of going on and on and on, and he wanted to get out of there, and I thought, you know, he wants to go watch the Ryder Cup. Actually, he wanted to go see his granddaughter play soccer.
That's a priority in life.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's unfortunate that this week Dan Reeves has been painted as a villain in Denver, and what a terrible thing he did to John Elway and the Denver Broncos. But look, John Elway and Dan Reeves 50 years from now are going to look back at their record of wins, and it's going to be one of the best there is in the history of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie, I would bet my life that if they win one of the 3 Super Bowls that they went to, there's no feud, there's no grudge match, there's no hard feelings, and there's no way around that.
I agree with you completely. You're absolutely right. Morton Anderson will kick off to Von Hembrun. 15 seconds time remaining first half. Little kick. Just trying to put it up in the air on a short free kick, or onside kick. Detron Smith has it. Atlanta wanted one more quick opportunity. We might get one here and go to the end zone.
You know, Smith could have fair caught that.
That's right.
That's one of the things that the special teams coaches for Denver will cover next week.
Denver at their own 47-yard line.
Spread formation. Is Denver going to try one more shot in the end zone here with 14 seconds left?
3 wides to the far side, 1 on this side. Hail Mary formation with 13 seconds. Elway scrambles out to the right. He's going to be sacked. Dan Owens gets him his 3rd sack of the year. Clock is moving on the countdown, and it'll go all the way to halftime. At halftime, it's Denver 23, Atlanta 7. The NFL on NBC continues. We go to the studio in New York. Here's Greg Gumbo.
On to our studios here in New York, along with Jim Kelly, Sam Weish, and Chris Collinsworth. I'm Greg Gumbo. Let's run down scores and highlights for you as we have them, beginning. And Reeves coaching against John Elway in the Bronx for the first time ever. Opening drive of the game for Denver. Elway to Shannon Sharp. This, when all is said and done, 65 yards and a touchdown, and the Broncos with a 7-0 lead. On 4th and 3 at the 10 for Denver. They go for it. Elway to Willie Green, his first touchdown of the year. 13-0 Denver, with kicker Jason Elam on the sideline with a strained hip flexor. Broncos go for 2. Terrell Davis up the middle, and Denver leads 15-0. That was the score in the second quarter when the NFL's leading rusher, Davis, went outside from 15 yards out to score his 4th touchdown of the season. He also ran in a 2-point conversion. Broncos led the Falcons 23-0, but just before halftime, Chris Chandler, the 1-yard flip to Ed West, who makes a nice diving catch in the end zone. 23-7 is where we stand now at halftime, and John Elway and Denver looking very good in the first half, Jim.
Well, they have, and then think about who should you pull coming out in the third quarter. You look at John Elway, yes, but maybe Terrell Davis is a guy. You might let him play 2 or 3 series. That's if everything continues the same way it has been.
Okay, Sam, you are Dan Reeves. What are you saying to your team at halftime?
If I'm Dan Reeves, there's not a lot you can say. Hush, just let me answer this by myself. If you're Dan Reeves, you go into that locker room, you've got to try to somehow build up a little bit of spirit for the second half. I mean, this is a team that's getting beat everywhere on the field. On the other hand, if you're Mike Shanahan, you take last year's finish when you clinched early. You say, hey, we clinched the halftime early. Remember, we can't let our guard down in the second half.
Yeah, we were saying that a little earlier that, you know, with the way they were running away with the game, there's no reason to put John Elway and Terrell Davis on. The late touchdown changes all that right now, at least for the moment. So Denver is leading Atlanta 23-7 at halftime to retain the cup they won in 1995. With a wrap-up of today's events, let's go to Dan Hicks at Valderrama.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Earlier here at Valderrama, the rain in Spain continued at the closing ceremonies, and 2 distinct emotions swirling through the respective teams. First, a bewildered